welcome to today's video. For today's video, I was thinking of using the Mini Breaker Palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics for a makeup look today. And I'm just gonna try to use solely just these 9 shadows to create a look to show you the versatility of the palette, I guess, but just to see what looks I can kind of come up with just only using this palette. I do have the Jawbreaker palette, the bigger one, but I'm gonna try just to use the small one. But anyways, before we jump into the video, please like, comment, or just subscribe to show your love and support for my channel. And I guess that's it. But I'm gonna put my hair up first, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so I threw my hair up, and I went ahead and I did my base. So I just applied my foundation, my concealer, set it all, and I did my brows and shaped them out just a little bit, because I want to keep everything focused on the eyeshadow palette and not my face. But I will leave everything down below that I used on my face in case you were curious, or like on the products that I used. So we are going to prime the eyes, and I will do that on camera. I'm going to use my P.Louise base right here. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand and gradually use more if I need it. And basically everything underneath this brow on the lid, I'm going to go ahead and apply that and pack that on. But this is just going to help intensify the pigment, make it stick, and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Anyways, I just use it's worn off because I've used it for so long and the base is worn off, but it's just a flat brush just like this, very thin, so I can kind of pack it on. So now I'm gonna hop into the Mini Breaker palette. What? My cat wants to come up here. Nope, nope, nope. Yes, baby, I love you too. You can't be in the video though. You're gonna get your paws all sticky. You just can't, and just, honey. So we're going to dive into the Mini Breaker palette, and I think what I'm going to do, I do want to utilize most of these shadows if I can. What I need to do is hop into Double Scoop, which is on the top left part of the palette. So I'm going to use Double Scoop, and then I'm going to hop into Bubblegum, applying those onto the lid. So I'm going to use my Morphe 505 brush right here. It's just a fluffy, it's not super dense, but it's just a fluffy brush that has a dome cut shape to it. And this is just going to be fluffy enough to give me, so I can apply a light wash of color. I'm going to dip in Double Scoop, and there is just a little bit of fallout, just a little bit, nothing crazy. I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I'm going to keep this in the outer and inner third of my eye and just pat it in. In between using colors, I have my color switch right here. Anyways, I'm just going to swirl it around there and it'll take off any excess pigment. I'm going to go in and use my Morphe 330 brush right here. I'm going to go into Bubblegum and basically apply it where I put the orange, where Double Scoop is, and kind of just slightly bring it a little closer to the center just for a little bit more definition, but I also want to start darkening it up a little bit. And I'm curious as to how these colors are going to blend. It's just probably going to make the first shade that I apply just maybe a little bit more orange, because you are adding a little bit more pink. See if I can try to do that, yeah. So right there on the outer and then inner third right here, it's just going to help deepen that up. And now I'm going to hop into the color right here on the far right called Foreplay. It's just slightly deeper. You probably can't see that very well. It's just slightly deeper in tone, like slightly deeper of a pink. And I'm going to apply it basically where we've been applying everything else. Basically with layering the shadows, I know it seems pretty excessive, but it's just kind of giving the eye definition and gradually doing so. So I'm going to take this brush, it's the Morphe 321 brush right here, and then I'm going to go into that center shade right there. And if you can see, I'm just going to put that right where everything else is, but a little bit closer to the lid. So you're almost creating like a dome shape. But keep in mind, everybody's eyes are different, so if you're trying to recreate this look at home and your eyes are not like mine, it'll probably be a little bit different. And I'm going to go back into Purple Punch, and this one doesn't have a number, but it's still a Morphe brush. It's from that Rose Gold Eye collection. I don't know if they still have it. I know they still have the face brushes, but nonetheless, you just need a flat shader brush, just like that. So right where we took everything, right where it's a little bit more faint, I'm just going to kind of concentrate that product just a little bit more, but I think Halo Eyes are quite flattering on my eye shape. And then kind of push it into where the deeper parts are, with or the same color where I concentrated more of the shade. I don't know if you can kind of actually see that. My lighting is so terrible. Okay, I'm gonna cut my crease. So I'm gonna go back into my P.Louise base like I did before, and I'm going to take this flat brush right here. I don't even know, like, it's also worn off. I've had it for at least a year, at least 2 years. So I'm gonna take a little bit with that brush, and then see if I can reflect light. So right where I didn't apply shadow to the lid, I'm just gonna cut it. So now that I've got my crease cut, I am going to take this small, it's like the same thing, like this brush that I used right here, if you can see that. It's just ever so slightly tiny. This one's a Morphe brush, this one's not. But this one is the JH42, just like that, little flat definer brush, not super straight like this guy, but a little dome cut just like the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my little brush. It'll pick up more pigment, and I'm just going to use my Mario Badescu setting spray. And I'm going to take that purple shade, Oral, and I'm going to apply it just on the center, like take it to the tippy top, so where I cut my crease, work my way down and just pat it. And then I'm going to flip the side over and go into the shade Slice. And then I'm going to apply it to the outer part of my eye. And kind of just buff that in and blend the two together. And obviously it'll take 10 years. Just like that. Take a quick look. And now I'm going to go into the shade Orange Crush right here on the top. Still same brush. Take a little bit of that. And by this point, it's not super tacky, but I'm going to concentrate that on the outer edge of where I applied Slice. I'm going to hop into the shade Bite Me right here on the bottom and go even further out and kind of just stipple it in. Dive back into the the Morphe brush, the 330 brush, just to kind of buff out the edge. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into the shade Foreplay, and I'm still going to use the Morphe 330 brush, dab a little bit, and then I'm just going to swipe on the bottom. And then I'm going to dip into Purple Punch, so you can see. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead, and I will do this on camera for the full eye, and then I will do the other eye off camera, and then we will come back and I will finish the face. This is just the brush that I've been using for it. It's very hard. I really need to wash these today, my brushes. I'm going to use the JH43 brush. It's also a flat definer brush, and I'm going to spray it down, the Mario Badescu spray. And I'm going to go into, it's my Chanel black, my Chanel gel liner, or Chanel gel black eyeliner. And I'm just going to tightline for my eyes. So I'm just going under the lash line and on my bottom waterline. Oh, I think I put a little too much. So I'm going to take my other Morphe definer brush and kind of buff that out. This doesn't have too much of the gel liner on it. So I'm just going to hop back into that palette and use Purple Punch and just kind of buff out and see if I can smooth it out. Yeah, that gel liner is no joke. So, yeah. So I'm going to keep it just on the bottom half, the gel liner, and then I'm going to grab my Chanel mascara and give a coat to the top lashes, and I will apply false lashes, but I will do a few of these steps so you can see what I'm going to do. And I will apply them to the bottom lashes as well as soon as I apply the false ones. Perfect. And I'm going to let that dry, and then I will do the other side, and I will come back with my other eye and lashes on, and then we will tackle the rest of the face. Okay, so I have finished my other eye, I have applied my lashes. I'm not really sure how well you can see it with my horrible lighting, but this is the look that I did, and I will show you in clearer lighting so you can kind of really see in another angle, but we can finish up the look finally. So I'm going to take my Mario Badescu spray, and I'm going to take my Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush, the JH39. It's this tiny, tiny, tiny little dome-shaped brush, and I'm going to use that to help put an inner highlight, or a highlight in my inner eye area. So I'm just going to use the Hyper Real Glow by MAC. It is a highlighting palette of 3, a little trio. As you can see, I really like these 2 shades. I'm going to go into the first shade in this palette, and I'm going to put it on the inner part of my eye, so I'll try to reflect this a little bit. So right here. And if you hear any scratches or noises or meows, those are my cats. So keep it just like that, and I already put a little bit up here, just in the brow bone, so it'll kind of reflect and highlight. And then I'm going to do the other side here, and I put a little bit right here, just to kind of bring more light to the inner part of my eye. And I already put some on the other side as well. And so now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and go into bronzer. So I'm actually going to take this little guy that I've been using, my Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer right here, and I'm going to use my Sephora brush. It was supposed to be like a limited edition, nothing ever is, but it's a bigger dome-shaped brush. The Sephora brush right here, it's those magnetic ones, using my color switch to dust off any excess, and I'm going to go right into this big bronzer. This is basically my skin tone in a powder form, but it does give a light wash of the color, and it just kind of helps define just a little bit. You can kind of ever so slightly see. Always tap off your excess, and I'm just going to keep it right here. Now I have really high cheekbones. You can kind of see the point in my cheek. They're really high, like right here. So I try to go almost in between like the high point and the low point, so I don't emphasize those. And then right here it looks like I'm not blending, but literally my cheekbone hits right there. So not my fault. I can thank my mom. So the little spot I forgot to buff out. And we're just going to go ahead and do the other side, and you're going to do it in circular motions. Don't take it too far in though. Just on the outer part of my face. So I'm like avoiding right here. I'm going right into the hairline is what I'm going to do. Same thing, just going to help warm up the face a little bit. Not that I need to be any more tan than I already am, but you know. Put a little bit under the nose and just kind of lightly drag it here. Just kind of shape my nose and put a little bit under the chin. I'm gonna kind of just concentrate the product right underneath where your actual jaw is. So now that I've bronzed just a little bit, I'm going very light with this look. I'm gonna jump in really quick. Before I finish off the cheek products, I'm gonna go into my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder. This I'm just gonna keep concentrated under my under eye. Right here, because I don't want any budging or creasing, and this stuff is finely milled and then pressed down, so you're barely putting anything on, but it'll help further prevent those creases. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and grab my blush, so I'm going to use the Kylie Cosmetics blush in We're Going Shopping, and it complements my skin tone. Still using the same brush for everything. See if I can reflect the light. And I keep it just behind the apples of my cheeks because, like I said, I have pretty high cheekbones. And I keep it kind of just more concentrated up that way, and you're going to go back. Same thing, other side. And you're just using buffing motions, that's all. And once you've kind of concentrated the product back here, there's barely anything on the brush, and I kind of lightly hit the tops. So now that I've gotten that, I'm going to dive into my Ambient Light powder in Luminous Light. This is a really good base for if you want to intensify your highlight, or if you just want a very natural highlight without going, you know, surface of the sun hot shining, you know. But same brush for everything, and I'm just going to lightly hit where I would apply a highlighter, and then if I want any additional, I'll just pack it on. Just pile drive it on. Keep it right here on the temple where it hits that part of your brow, like right there, and take it right here. And I'm going to lightly go on the nose and above the lip, here, and on the other side. Positive, my cheeks are a little uneven naturally, which is totally fine, but you can see how it's like, it's lower, and then over here it's like quite high. My cheeks are uneven. Okay, so this will be the base for that, and I'm going to set my, I'm just knocking everything over. I'm going to set my face with the Mario Badescu spray, and then I will add a highlighter, and we will do a lip, and we should be complete. Back into the Hyper Real Glow highlighting trio by MAC, and then I'm going to go into that top shade yet again, and I'm going to use this fluffy diffused brush. It doesn't have a number, it's also a Morphe one. I'm going to dip into that a little bit, and then I'm going to use actually this mirror. It's a little bit more clear than that, and so you can see, and then I'm going to hit the high point. Just like that. And then just take it back. And then go around right here and just go right over a little bit where I've applied everything. Go right over the lip. And on the other side, just like this. And go right up here. And you can kind of see where all the highlight kind of hits. Until you do. Now, most people would probably go for a nude lip. I typically would, but I want to use this color that I haven't used in a while. It's the Kylie Jenner Liquid to Matte Lipstick in Party Girl. It's like this hot pink, but I feel like it's just like a nice bubblegum color that'll fit this look, and I just want to go bold. So I'm not going to, well, I guess I'll use a lip liner. But I actually do have the one that goes with this, and I'm going to have to sharpen this. One sec. So I've sharpened my lip liner right here. This is the matching one in the lip kit. There we go. It's going to dry down just a little bit. Alright, so this is the final look. Simple, in my opinion. So this is the completed look, and all using the Mini Breaker palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So going back into the palette, I believe I used every single one of these shades except for, I believe, Hot Fudge. Hot Fudge is the only shade I didn't use, so I used 8 out of the 9 shades. I think that's awesome. I think this look is actually a lot better than I thought it was going to turn out. Don't mind the frizz, but this is the final makeup look. In there, guys, there you have it. This is the final look that I came up with using 8 out of the 9 shades of the Mini Breaker Jeffree Star Cosmetics palette. You can switch out the color lip that you want. You don't necessarily have to use this lip, and by any means you do not have to use any of the products that I used here today to create the look. You could replicate these shades. There's every color manageable out there already. So this is the look, and yeah. So please like, comment, and subscribe to show your support yet again. If you support my channel, if you want to support me, it would be nice to put more videos out for people. So there you have it. So I will see you in the next video.